institutions fail to do. Hampshire stands in the gap of dark truth and critical hope, fostering change makers like yourselves. I think sometimes Hampshire forgets that its students will act upon these promises in real ways, holding it accountable. Most people, they agree with the sentiment of a Hampshire bubble. But I'd like to push back on that a little bit. Because Hampshire understands that it is a site for change in the real world, while also many times demands more of others than it does itself. We saw this our first year at the community meeting / outpour. We as a student body were going to be heard. We understood that Hampshire is no different from other institutions, and we sought to hold it accountable just as we would the world. Hampshire students practice seeking the change they hope to see. And for that, I'm so grateful for. So grateful. That is where the love is, that you show up day in and day out. All of you. You show up sometimes by stepping back, and we've got comfortable with that. You gotta leave for a little bit. Oh, I'm uncomfortable, but it's okay. I'll see you soon. This is one of the most active student bodies I have ever experienced in my entire life.
Right.
Yeah. Community organizing is the foundation of this population, and over the past 4 years, the world has been watching. Asking, who are those students setting fire to the status quo? They're asking themselves, who are they that dare demand justice in the face of complacency? What? It's Hampshire College. It's Hampshire College. I pray that you keep your Hampshire t-shirts. I pray that you put it on every day before you go out to work and remember your superpowers. Remember, you are not a cog in a machine. Let there be a watch party for all Hampshire College alum, because we will be the ones inciting the next wave of change in the coming generations. I pray you show up so boldly in the face of opposition that all they have to say is, I'd have gotten away with it if it hadn't been for those meddling kids. Be the meddling kids. We are the meddling kids. Sticking out our noses, sniffing out all signs of injustice. We as a student body protesting the layoffs of saga workers is who Hampshire is. Hampshire is a hotbed of action because it has made itself a site of and for change. This is the beauty of it all. You are all some of the most tenacious, forthcoming, brilliant individuals, again, that I've ever met. As you continue to reflect on your Hampshire experience, know this. You are more than qualified. You will suffer because you know truths that are not self-evident. You will disrupt the systems you enter by making injustice uncomfortable. You will thrive in the most difficult of settings because you have spent 4 years being stretched to the corners of your comfort zones, tight-roping around the edges of your fears, rising to every challenge, being the challenge, at a small liberal arts school in Amherst, Mass, called Hampshire College. Hampshire College was birthed as an insurgence in higher ed. We were not made to fit the form or model of any other institution, having been radically imagined to incite a new paradigm shift in education. We as a community will never die, because from our inception, we have been fighting to exist, and exist in opposition to all traditional models, all those who will never forget what happened or happens here. Just take a moment and just raise your hand, and just say, I commit Hampshire to my memory. I commit everyone present to my memory. And just look around, take in your neighbors. Because believe it or not, we're gonna need each other outside. We're gonna need people who understand why we are sitting in silent and enraged in the rooms that we will enter. Someone who will relate. So, take Hampshire in, And take Hampshire with you in every mason jar you see, every gluten-free cookie. And smile at every person without shoes, because the memory of Hampshire. Smile at every person without shoes, because the memory of Hampshire, it never dies, it just lives alive in you. Thank you.